So what's important is knowing that we're not going to strike a perfect balance. Because if I had to give you tips, your life is completely different from mine, from the next person as well. So one size fits all is never going to work for that. So we need to decide what the priorities are and how to make that work in our life.
All right, so it's not really work-life balance, it's work-life integration. And in today's modern digital world, right, many people take their work home. I'm guilty of this, guilty as charged, because I've got one of these smartphone devices, and sometimes at 11 at night I'm going through my work emails and even responding. And I've got colleagues sometimes who respond and write emails at 3 or 4 in the morning, right? So gone are the days where you could just leave work at work. You're either taking it home over weekdays, or some people are even working over weekends. So there is no balance. So it is an integration.
Yes. So I think it's also important, if you don't have to be doing that, then you shouldn't. So not all careers, expect us to be available at all hours. And we should think twice about whether we want to be that available anyway. However, sometimes it might suit us to catch up on something over the weekend or in the evenings, but then we need to be finding that time for ourselves and whatever else is important, perhaps our health and our family, at other times in the week.
Do you think some people could fear, job loss or poor performance, or other colleagues showing them up because they're responding at 11, 12 or 1 in the morning, right? And so, if they're doing it, maybe my boss expects me to do it. So that fear could be driving it.
We live in tough economic times and many jobs at risk. Many companies in the country are restructuring. So people are holding on to their jobs and wanting to prove that they are the best. So, but there are many changes in, in the workforce these days. So some companies are allowing the employees to work flexi time, for example, as long as the work is done. They're allowing them to work from home as long as deadlines are met.
So I read a wonderful research study last night by Harvard Business School. And I think the people who participated in that research survey, 94% of working professionals have admitted that they take work home. And they've admitted that they know it's the wrong thing to do.
Yes.
So, that's a high number, Rakhi.
Yeah. I think we're also raised to believe that work is the most important thing in life, and therefore we keep giving. And sometimes something has to give before we recognize that it isn't always ideal to do that.
And sometimes the thing that gives is your health.
Most often that's what it is, and then their relationships.
So that's what we're talking about tonight. Let's call it work-life integration, as the brilliant Rakhi Beekrum is saying on Walk the Talk this evening. We'll give you a chance to call in. Here's your opportunity to get free expert advice from one of the best in the business, and she's here on the radio here on Lotus FM just for you. You can pick up the phone, give Michael a call in the studio, Michael Baichan, who's our engineer. The show's produced by Shona, 089 310 8789. That's our studio number. Or you can drop me a WhatsApp in studio with your questions or comment on 071 613 7803. That's 071 613 7803. Questions for Rakhi tonight. Our topic of discussion is work-life integration. So when that thing gives, right, if it's not your health, it's your relationship, but something has to crack at the end of the day. And do you get back up and get back into the ring, or, off do you go to hospital and try and save yourself?
And so often it's only at that stage. I work with many patients also at the end of life. And when I ask them what they regret most in life, it's often that they worked too hard or worked too much and didn't spend time with their families. And when they talk about the things they miss, do you know what they miss? They miss something like their child, who they complained about coming to the bed in the middle of the night and taking up space. So that already tells you what's most important. It's perhaps family, perhaps your health. And it's only when something gives that we realize work isn't the most important thing. It is important, but not the most important thing.